Okay, we're going to talk about team schedules and how to create and publish the schedules on the team schedules calendar, which is this Google Calendar, part of Google Apps that we use for the team duty days. Now, what we're going to do today, I'm using Firefox for, but any web browser should work. It may work a little differently than it does with Firefox, but the differences are minor and you should be able to figure it out. Okay? The help page or the start page is the main internal website for the squad, and the help page, the squad IT help resource site, is the page that we go to look up information, IT related information. Um, One of the links in here is called Working with Team Schedule Calendar. You see it down here towards the bottom. We'll click on that, and it gives us kind of an overview of what's involved with the team schedules. There's basically 4 steps in the process of creating and publishing a schedule. First, you build and publish the team schedule document for the specific duty day and copy the URL. The URL is this area on the web page address is called the URL. Then we want to create the calendar event HTML string for the URL. In other words, this is part of the HTML string that's used in the calendar to pull up the duty day schedule for a particular team. Finally, we want to paste that string that we just created, that HTML string, back into the calendar and test it. Okay? There's a tutorial on the page and instructions for making the event description HTML entry. Now, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it is the language used on the web to create and display web pages with different fonts. So you don't need to worry about that, and everything that I do here can be done in different ways, so don't let that confuse you. Okay. Okay. The first thing you need to do on your calendar is you go to your documents. You can get to your documents from your mail page. It's the second link in on the upper left-hand corner, and it depends on your team, of course, because these are just the names of schedules. It could be anything, but you might use a template, or you might use the previous duty day, or you might use something else. But you pick up the duty day that you want, and let's say you want to publish this for January 31st. Okay, so you make your changes to the document, whatever they may be. Um, actually, we don't want to do that. Let's undo that change. What we want to do first is we want to make a copy of this document. Okay, we'll create a new document, and you'll see that it says up here, it says copy of May 16th. So we'll make this January 31st. Okay, and down here is the URL for the May 16th web page. So let's say we go through and make our changes, and then we're ready to publish it. Publish it as a web page. So we'll publish it here. We want to automatically republish when changes are made. That means that we can go back and make changes, and they'll automatically show up on the calendar without any additional need to publish or change anything else. And we copy this URL for the published document, and I use Control C to do that. And then we go back to editing. And down here, in between the quotes, we'll change this to, we'll do a Control V to paste that new URL. And always check like the last 4 digits, the 9XGH, to make sure that I pasted the right thing in here. (9XGH). So that's cool, and we'll go ahead and we'll close this, save and close. We actually before we do that, we'll copy this. We'll do a save and close. We want to go back to Google Docs. Close this one. We go back to Google Docs. I'm going to do a refresh because I don't see our document in here. There it is, copy of May 16th. I'm going to rename that to January 31st. Okay. Okay. Oops. Okay, so it's renamed now. I want to make sure that this is shared with the other team members. So I'm going to see who has access. Well, nobody else has access. So I'm going to add others. Those folks that should have access will have access to it now. And I'll make sure that they have edit access, and then I'll add it. Okay, so now Joe has access to this document. Now we want to go back to the calendar, our calendar. This will pull up the current calendar, and we'll scroll through to the appropriate month. We'll change that to the month view and go back here to January 31st. January 31st is where? No, that's February. No, January 31st is right here. So Team 3 doesn't normally work on January 31st, but we're going to put it in there anyway. And I'm going to change this to reflect Team 3. I don't want my personal calendar because nobody else will see it. So I'm going to create that event. Then I'm going to edit it as soon as it's done saving. Okay, and I'm going to paste that URL in here that says okay. Now you don't want to go back in here and edit this again, because if you do, it'll take out that that HTML string. So we're going to put that back in, still in our paste buffer, and then we're going to test it by going to the team schedules page and going to let's see, we'll go to the start page. We'll go to team schedules. Try again. Team 3. We'll go back to January 31st. You see that entry that we made is there. We'll click here for the schedule, and you see this is our published web page. Okay, So that's all there is to it. Now I know that we went through this a little fast, but I think that you can play this video and pause it and follow along. Possibly you can get it. If you have any questions, ideas, or suggestions, let me know, and we'll make those changes as appropriate. Okay. Any other ideas on things we can add to this? Let me know. Also, go through the video or the training materials that are on our website. And that is it for now.